Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a makeup look that kind of focuses around what makes me feel beautiful and confident. With Valentine's Day right around the corner, I really wanted to do a video that was kind of Valentine's Day inspired, but I wanted to also kind of inspire you guys at home to create a makeup look that makes you feel the most beautiful and the most confident, because everybody is so different. So I'm going to show you what I personally feel the most confident and beautiful in right now. But again, this is kind of meant to just inspire you guys at home to look back into your collection and think about what you feel the most beautiful. And I feel like everyone can be different. Like some people feel incredible in a red lip or a smoky eye. I definitely have my own aesthetic that makes me feel incredible, so that's what I'm going to be showing you today. Before we get into the tutorial, I'm so excited because ShopTagger is partnering with me on this video. I love ShopTagger. You guys have probably heard me talk about them several times because I've used this app for so many years. If you aren't familiar with ShopTagger, it's an app that you can download on your mobile phone or your desktop, and it helps you just gather items that you're looking at buying, and you can organize them in certain categories. You can also save specific sizes if something is out of stock, and it will notify you when it comes back in stock. And my personal favorite thing about ShopTagger is if I've been eyeing something online and I save it to my app, it will notify me when it goes on sale, which is incredible because there are so many things out there that you just need to wait a little bit before it goes on sale. I've honestly saved so much money through the app. I buy all of my clothes through ShopTagger. They also now have a coupon feature where you can click on their button at checkout and it will bring up any coupons that might work for you on the site, so you can save even more money that way. And I also recently got an email from the ShopTagger team letting me know that they are going to release a cashback feature in the coming months. So if you're somebody who loves online shopping like I do, you will love this app. It's completely free and it also notifies you of so many different things. So if you guys want to check out ShopTagger, I will have it linked in the description box down below. You can download it on both your mobile phone and also desktop. So if you guys want to check it out, it's in the description box, and again, it's completely free. So it looks like I'm wearing lipstick. Okay, listen, I was trying on a bunch of lipsticks before I was filming, and I tried on some like berry tones that were really bright and they stained my lips a little bit. So just ignore that. I have lip balm on, but it looks like I'm wearing more than a lip balm. I'm just gonna go ahead and clip my hair back. I actually curled my hair today, which was kind of a different thing for me because I usually just like to wear my hair back, especially when I film. I know so many of you guys always comment on when I wear my hair down because it's basically like an annual thing for me. But it's truly because when I film, I want my hair out of my face when I'm doing my makeup. Like I just don't want to even deal with it, but I thought I would leave it down for today's video. So let's just get right into it. Again, I'm going to be sharing with you the products and just like the techniques and the style of makeup that I've been doing recently, or that I kind of fall back on when I really want to feel the most like myself, which I feel like always brings out the most confidence for me, you know? I feel like those are the moments where I feel really confident and beautiful is when I feel like myself, if that makes sense. So I actually have some things that are kind of older in my collection that I really wanted to use, and then I had some things that were really like pretty that I recently got in PR, and also some things that I recently purchased that I tried once and I wanted to share with you guys on camera. So it's a good mix of things. I feel like sometimes new makeup products make me feel extra beautiful, especially if it's something that resonates with me. So there's a couple products like that that we'll get to in a minute. I'm going to start off with my eyebrows though. I'm just going to use the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. This is in the shade 4. And I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in the brows. I have little pieces of clay mask in my brows. I don't know, earlier today I was just kind of in a funk, and honestly for not any particular reason. I don't know if you guys have those days, but I certainly do. And so today I just felt like I needed a little bit of time to just sit in the bath. And so I did a little clay mask. It was the clay mask from May Lindstrom. It's called the Problem Solver. And it's really cool because you like mix it up. Like it comes in a powder and then you put water in and you mix it up, and it's like a really thick clay mask, and it takes like 30 to 45 minutes to dry. So I put that all over my face and then I sat in the tub and it made me feel better, but there's pieces of it in my eyebrows. Since Valentine's Day is tomorrow, well, I guess only if you're watching this on the day I upload, but if you are, I would love to know what your guys' plans are. Or if you don't have plans yet, tell me what your ideal Valentine's Day would be. My ideal Valentine's Day is honestly to stay at home and like maybe do a spa night, eat good food, hang out with my husband, like something really chill. I don't know. I really like things like that. I love doing at-home spa nights. Do you guys do that? Like, do you ever set aside one day a week? I try to do Sundays a lot. Like, I try to do like self-care Sundays, you know? Where in the evenings I will just kind of do a little extra than normal for my skin, or I'll paint my nails or something. It just makes you feel so refreshed and good. And so honestly, that's what I would love to do on Valentine's Day, as it's taking me 12 years to do my brows. Okay, hold on, let me finish these really fast. I'm gonna go ahead and prime the eyelids. Where did I put that? Here we go. I'm gonna use my NARS Tinted Smudge Proof eyeshadow base. I love this. You guys probably know by now. I've used it quite a bit on my channel. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this to the eyelids. This is the shade Light. And I'm just gonna take a brush and blend that out. Okay, for eyeshadow, I wanted to use a palette that I personally purchased myself. It's from KKW Beauty. It's the eyeshadow palette in Night Sky. This is from her most recent collection. And I saw this online and I just felt like I would get a lot of use out of it, honestly, because there's pinks. That's basically why. But I bought this truly because of this matte shade right here. And then I wore it the other day and this shade right here is incredible. So I wanted to use it again. So I'm gonna start off with this shade right here. This is called Cloudy Pink. It's like the best name for it because it really is just a beautiful cloudy pink. So I'm gonna start working this in the crease a little bit. And then once there's a little bit less on the brush, I'm gonna kind of buff that up toward the brow. I'm gonna kind of dust it right here. I'm wanting this to look kind of glamorous, but also soft and smoked out and still approachable. That's just my aesthetic when it comes to, you know, makeup looks that I feel the best in. So I'm just taking my time blending this out. Okay, now that I feel like I have the pink pretty blended out on the edges, I'm actually gonna go into the deep shade right here. This is like a brown, but also, I'd probably describe this as a super deep purple. This is called Galaxy. And I'm just gonna start to buff that on the outer portions of the eye. I'm just taking a little bit and really working this into that outer third right here and just kind of bringing it into the crease slightly as well. Okay, same thing over here. I'm trying to keep most of the pigment close to the lash line on that outer third. I just feel like on me it helps to kind of elongate and lift my eye when I keep the darker colors right up against the lashes, and then I kind of blend it up and outwards after most of the pigment has already come off the brush in that area. Okay, I'm going back into that first shade that we were using in the crease, and I'm actually just gonna buff this on top because I want to lighten it a little bit more than where it's at right now. I just want it to be a slightly softer definition. So I'm just gonna kind of buff a little bit more of that first shade on top to blend the two together. And then I'm going back in with that dark shade and just kind of making sure both eyes look even as far as the depth of the dark color goes. Just making sure it's all blended. I really, really like those two shades combined. I think it's so pretty and they blend into each other beautifully. All right, next I'm taking this center shade right here. This is called Pink Aura. This is so pretty. Let's see, I might use, okay. I got some on the brush. I'm going to wet the brush and then I'm going to start to press this onto the lid. It is such a pretty shade. I love it so much. I'm just dipping back in and kind of pressing even more on top of the lids because I really want that to be the focal point of the eye look. It has the prettiest duochrome, what's the word, like shift to it. In certain lights it looks light pink and in others it looks like a greenish gold and I'm obsessed with it. It is so pretty. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. I'm just gonna gently start to build that up on the lid, focusing most of it on the inner portion because I'm kind of trying to, again, create that gradient from light to dark on the edge. So I like to keep most of the eyeshadow in this area here, and then once there's less on the brush, it's easier to just blend it into the existing shades. Okay, I'm loving how this looks. Next, I'm gonna take this shade right here. This is called Rose Dust. And I'm wanting to take that shade and just highlight the brow bone. It has a really beautiful rose pink undertone, but there's a bit of champagne in there as well. And I'm going to also use that in the inner corner just to brighten things up. And I'm gonna do a little scoopity boopity, but only like the first third of the eye, if that makes sense. So only like right here, just to kind of brighten it up in that area, and then it will go into the other shade. I'll try to blend that a little bit more. You see what I'm saying? Next, I'm gonna take an angled brush and I'm gonna dip into this shade right here. This is called Cosmic Brown, and I'm wanting to create a bit of definition along the lash line, mostly again on that outer third, because on me I feel like it's just the most flattering for my eye shape. So I'm just gonna kind of brush that right up against the lashes right here to kind of add that definition. Okay, before we pop on mascara, you guys probably know that I love glitter, so I wanted to reach into my Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals Volume 1 palette, and I wanted to wear my favorite glitter. It makes me feel beautiful every time I wear it, so I'm going to use it today. I love this one right here. This is the shade Aura in the glitter finish, and I'm just going to take a tiny bit of that. I want this to be a little bit more of like a scattered glitter, so I'm just going to take a bit, and I'm going to kind of lightly press this kind of on top of that duochrome shade, and I'm going to really make sure to press down so that it sticks as good as possible. This glitter seriously makes me so happy. I love it so much. And it actually pairs beautifully with that shimmer shade underneath that kind of has similar tones. Like there's some greenish gold glitter in this particular glitter shade, as well as pink, and it really complements that shadow underneath. I love it. Okay, I really love how that looks. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the fallout under the eyes. And every time I use glitter, I like to apply mascara on the top lashes just because I feel like it helps catch any fallout while I do the rest of my face. So I'm just pressing down the edges of the eyeshadow, and I'm going to go into my L'Oreal Unlimited mascara, and I'm going to apply probably two, maybe closer to 3 coats of mascara on just the top lashes. That's another thing that makes me feel really beautiful is like tons of mascara. I love tons of mascara, which is funny because I know so many people who like love a more natural lash look, which I understand for like every day, but when it comes to me personally feeling my best, I love huge lashes. But it's funny because I also don't really feel the best in like false lashes, so I just like to load up the mascara personally. Okay, so let's move on to complexion. I really want to use the MAC Strobe Cream in Pink Light. I recently picked this up again, like within the last week or so, and I have really been loving it all over again. It's just like the prettiest base for underneath makeup. It has the slightest like pinky undertone, or pinky pearl, I guess I should say, which I love. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend this out all over the skin. For foundation today, I really wanted to use my Neutrogena Healthy Skin foundation, or liquid makeup, I guess I should say. I use the shade Nude 40. This has been a favorite of mine for so long, and it's just a really good foundation for when you just want your skin to look like your skin but better, which is kind of what I obviously feel the most beautiful in, and also with Valentine's Day in mind as well. That's kind of what made me think of this foundation. It just looks really good up close. It looks really good in photos. It wears really beautifully on my skin, so that's why I wanted to choose this one. I'm taking this on a Colourpop sponge, and I'm just starting to press it into the skin. And also, this foundation doesn't break me out. I've worn it for years, and I've never had an issue with that. So that's another reason why I chose it today, because my skin's been acting out so bad. So sometimes it's nice to go back to your go-to foundations on days where, you know, your skin's acting out, just so that you know it's not going to add to the problem, you know? Okay, I originally wasn't going to cream contour, but I'm going to now. Well, I was originally looking for my Milk makeup bronzer. I saw it earlier today and I can't find it. Guys, it's been on my to-do list to tidy up my beauty room for about a month now. I literally write it down on my in my planner like every day. I still haven't gotten around to it. So instead I grabbed the Benefit Hoola Quickie Contour Stick, and I warmed up a little bit on the back of my hand first. It's been so long since I've used this. I used to love this. So I'm interested to see if I still feel the same way. I'm going to take my Real Techniques contour brush, and I'm going to kind of mix that into the leftover foundation on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to start to just build that up all over the face. And I know I recently said this, but I will repeat myself again just in case you missed whatever video I said this in. I have recently really enjoyed when I do cream contour. I've really liked doing this step before concealer. I used to do it after concealer, and I just feel like when you do it before concealer, it helps you really know what areas actually need to be concealed and what areas you could leave alone, because you kind of have a little bit more of that structure back in the skin, so you can really see what areas you're not happy with still, instead of blank canvassing the whole face all at once, and then maybe you accidentally add too much concealer and there's no way to really gauge that, or it's harder to gauge that, you know, if you do your concealer first. So anyway, that's a fun little trick I've learned recently. I'm going to put a little bit along the jawline and a bit down the neck as well. Okay, and then I'm going to take my sponge, which still has a bit of foundation on it, and I'm just going to blend over top of that just to make sure it looks super seamless. Okay, and now I'm going to take my Laura Mercier concealer. I have a bit of a deeper shade. This is in the shade 3N, and I'm wanting to use this shade to spot conceal blemishes. And I'm just going to go ahead and blend those out really quickly. And then once I feel like that's blended pretty good, I'm wanting to use, I keep losing things. Okay, I wanted to use my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Oh, wait, hold on, back up. I wanted to use a little bit of my Becca Under Eye Corrector today. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that on an eyeshadow brush. And I'm just going to apply this right here underneath the eyes, just to kind of brighten up any dark circles, especially since the eyeshadows kind of are the same color as my dark circles. I'm going to blend that out with my sponge first, but I just wanted to kind of take the extra step to conceal that before going in with actual concealer. Okay, now we're going to go into the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. And today I want to look like sculpted, but I don't want to look like I tried too hard, you know? But I'm definitely going to take the extra time with concealer and contour to make everything look as good as possible. I'm going to highlight down the center of the face, on the chin. Okay, and then I'm going to blend that out with the exact same sponge. Okay, everything is looking so smooth, which I love, and also really glowy and hydrated, which I also love. Let's go ahead and set the under eyes and the face. I'm going to use my Thrive Causemetics Filtered Effects Soft Focus HD Setting Powder. I love this powder because it's just reliable. It's also a hydrating powder, so if you're someone who, you know, wants to do something a little bit more intense, like if you're going out or if it's a holiday or whatever, and you want to set your face, but you don't want it to feel or look dry throughout the day, this is an amazing powder for that. I love it. I'm going to take a bit of that on like an angled brush, and I'm actually going to start this time by setting around the mouth and on the chin. And then I'm going to set this area right here. This is where I tend to have enlarged pores. It's right around here. So I'm going to really press the powder into that area. Okay, I'm just going to press out any extra product underneath my eyes before I lock it in. And I'm just going to press that underneath the eyes as well. Okay, same thing on this eye and also on this side of the face. I'm really focusing the powder in the T-zone for myself since that's where I get oily. I'm also going to set the center of the forehead. I'm going to take what's left of the powder and just set the cheeks and then the sides of the forehead as well. Okay, this next product I recently got in PR and I really wanted to try it out. It looks so beautiful, and I honestly don't know if I would have picked this up just off of the photos online. I would have had to see it in stores to decide to buy this because it just looks so pretty in person. This is the new Too Faced Born This Way Turn Up the Light Complexion Enhancing Highlighting Palette. And this is the shade Light. There's a really cool soft focus powder in the center, which I think is like a finishing powder. So I'm wanting to try this out. I'm going to dip my powder brush into the soft focus powder. And I'm going to honestly dust that all over the face. Well, I can't really tell if that did much. At least not yet. I don't really know. Okay. Well, anyway. We'll go back to that palette later. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the eyes. I'm wanting to use... Where is it? Here it is. My Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlighting Pencil for the waterline really quick. And I wanted this one because it has that light pink undertone, which I felt like would complement all the rest of the makeup. I'm going to go ahead and go into that very first shade that we used on the top. I'm going back into the eyeshadow palette, obviously. This is such a pretty shade. I'm just going to take a smaller buffing brush, and I'm going to really start to just buff that on the lower lash line. And I'm just going to smoke that out pretty low, actually, along the lower lash line. I love a good smoky lower lash line, especially with shades that aren't too far off of my skin tone, if that makes sense. Like, this is a pretty light shade, so it doesn't look too intense, but you can really kind of get a nice sultry effect by blending it out a little bit lower than usual. I'm going to dip into the dark shade in the palette. Again, this is called Galaxy. I'm just going to take the tiniest bit of that, and I'm going to use that to define the lower lash line on the outer third. And I am going to bring it in almost all the way, but again, I'm keeping most of the depth and pigment on the outer third, and then as I go inward, I want it to be a little lighter. I'm actually going to take this same brush, and I'm going to dip into that center shade, which I love so much. And I'm going to wet the brush again. And I'm just going to run this shade along the inner third of the lower lash line, just to brighten that up a little bit. Okay, I'm taking that big fluffy brush that we used on the top lid with just the leftover shadows on it, and I'm going to bring that down even further and just blend the edges. And then I'm just going to apply that same L'Oreal Unlimited mascara to the lower lashes. I'm actually going to hop back into the Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals palette, and I'm going to take this metallic shade called Aura, and I'm wanting this to be my inner corner highlight. It's just the best inner corner highlight, and it kind of has that same pink undertone, so again, I felt like it would complement everything really well. I'm going to put just a little bit of that underneath the brows as well. Okay, I want to warm up the complexion with this Honest Beauty Dusk Reflection Luminizing Glow Powder. So again, it's like a little bit more of a luminous baked powder, but I just want my skin to be really glowy today. So I'm just going to take that on a dual fiber brush, and I'm just going to lightly kind of dust this all over the skin. And I'm using buffing motions to lightly build a natural bronzy glow. All right, next I'm wanting to try this highlighter right here in that same Too Faced palette. This is called Glow, and I'm just going to start to build that on the high points of the face. I'm going to go down the center of the nose, on the Cupid's bow, a little bit right here above the brows. Okay. For blush, I recently purchased the KKW Beauty blush palette, and she came out with 2 different blush palettes. They're the same 3 shades in the palettes, but different finishes. I personally picked up the matte blush palette. I just tend to use matte blushes more than shimmery ones. I'm going to mix these 2 shades right here, tap off the extra, and I'm going to layer this on the cheeks. I love that peachy tone. It's so pretty. And I'm kind of applying a pretty good amount. Just because, first of all, blush is the first thing to disappear. So for more of a special occasion, I like to add a little bit more, but also I feel like it makes the whole look more romantic. I'm going to take what's left and dust it along the forehead as well, just so there's a little hint of that color all over the face. Not too much though. I didn't dip my brush back into the pan to do that. I just took what was left so that it's much softer. Okay, now I'm going to wipe off any foundation that got on my lips. And I wanted to use my current favorite lip liner. Where is it? I had it all laid out nicely, and then somehow, oh, here it is. Somehow I lose things. I don't even know. This is the NYX Nude Suede Shoes lip liner. You guys showed me this, and I cannot get enough of it. It's one of the best, like, My Lips But Better colors, which I think is perfect for Valentine's Day, and it also is one of those things that makes me feel really beautiful when it just looks like my natural lips, or like it could be my natural lips. Oh wait, I want to use this specific lip color. Hold on. I was looking for this. I recently purchased this. It was a very expensive lip balm, kind of well, it's like a tinted lip balm. I've talked about this so many times, I feel like on my channel, but I love Nikki Makeup on Instagram, and I don't even know how I saw it or where I saw it, but she talked about this Chantecaille Lip Chic, and it's in the shade Patience, and it is so beautiful. So this is what I wanted to wear. It's literally been living in my purse. I wear it on its own all the time, like without a lip liner or anything, and I love it. So I'm just gonna apply this all over the lips. Oh, isn't that just like the best color? I'm obsessed with it, honestly. All right, let's step back and assess the situation. I'm gonna take a little bit of the bronzer brush and just kind of dust a bit more of that Honest Beauty bronzer on. I just really wanted my skin to look glowy and healthy, but still really glam, which I feel like sometimes when you sit down to do your makeup and you want it to be more of a natural look, like this isn't crazy. It's obviously makeup-y, like you can tell I'm wearing makeup, but sometimes if you just take like the time and the extra steps to really perfect the lines and the blending, it can look so incredible and really beautiful in person and in photos. Okay, I think everything is where I want it. I kind of want a little bit more of that glow shade from the Too Faced palette. I'm just gonna kind of layer that a little bit more on the cheeks. Okay, I'm gonna set the face with my Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Mist. I just love this so much. It makes me so happy. It smells amazing. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry for a second, and then I'm gonna take my sponge, and I'm just gonna really lightly press everything down into the skin. My handy fan is somewhere in this room. That's another sign I need to clean. I'm just gonna gently press everything back down into the skin. All right, last but not least, we're going to revisit the brows and just brush them back up. Okay, and then I'm going to take, uh-oh, I lost something else. Oh my gosh. Oh, found it. Okay, it's the NYX Bear With Me Brow Setter. I really just kind of want a Nicki Makeup inspired brow. She uses soap brows, which give the brows a really, really fun texture. So I'm gonna run this through, and then I'm gonna take my finger and press it down into the skin a little bit. Same thing on that brow. I'm just gonna press that down. All right, I'm just gonna take out my hair clips. All right, you guys, so that completes this makeup look. I will probably definitely wear something very similar to this on Valentine's Day. This is truly what I feel most like myself in, which you guys probably know these tones are my absolute favorite. But on days where I want to feel extra special, I just kind of amp up the contour, do something a little bit extra with the skin, and the result is always something that I personally feel really beautiful and really confident in. So I hope you guys are inspired to reach back into your own collection and create a makeup look for Valentine's Day or whatever day you want to that really brings out your confidence. And I would love to know in the comments below if there's a specific product that does that for you or a specific look, whether it's no makeup or a smoky eye or a colorful lip. I want to know what you guys love to wear, where you feel the most confident and the most you. So let me know in the comments below. Again, thanks again to Shop Tagger for partnering with me on this video. I love Shop Tagger, and if you guys want to download it, again, the link is in the description box. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. Well, that's it for me today. I hope you guys have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!